More free advice from the grumpy old toad. Okay, a couple of things that I've been thinking about recently that people often ask or think about when they retire, and that is, can you live off of Social Security? The answer is yes, you really can. When my wife and I retired, that's what we retired onto. We were both working full time. And yes, I had a very high paying job before I retired, so I took some money and saved it. So we had a nice little nest egg, and my wife was also a nurse, and she had a nice little nest egg and set that aside. But we don't tap that very much. We kind of trickle that in. Here's the key to living on Social Security: be debt free. No car payments, no house payments, and no debt, no credit card payments. Pay cash. Now, starting at the top, if your house is paid for, you're sitting on 100% equity, and you don't have a house payment, that is just money in your pocket, because when my wife and I were making house payments, our house payments were pretty large. But we made the decision when we retired that we would pay the house off completely. As a matter of fact, this house here, we had saved enough that we could buy this house, and we only had to make one payment. The one payment plan, just pay it. Have your house paid off. Now, not everybody's in a position where they can do that. But if you're still working, make it a goal to get your house paid off. Number 2, no car payments. Have your cars paid off. Get good, reliable cars. Have them paid off. Avoid the new car syndrome. Buy some good used cars. Number 3, no credit card debt. Don't have credit cards. If you do use them to get the points, pay them off every single month. Do not carry a balance. There is no need to be in debt or carry any kind of balance at this time of life. My wife and I are both 75. We're going to be 76 this year. That's why my YouTube channel says 76 years of free advice. Now, how do we do that? Well, the first thing that we do is we have a written budget. A written budget is written down right at the top. It starts with how much food, how much utilities, electric bill, phone bill, all that stuff. We go right on down the list so that we know each month exactly how much money we're going to need. And we keep our budget very consistent. Now, what about holidays like Christmas? Okay, so here's what we do. We started this practice many, many years ago. Each month in our budget, we set aside a little bit of money for Christmas. We have a Christmas fund, and we simply subtract out, and we have different accounts with our bank, but we simply subtract out a small amount of money each month and put it into that fund. Now, currently, we do $100 per month for Christmas funds, so that when Christmas rolls around, my wife has $1,200 to spend on Christmas. And sometimes it's a little bit more. And we allow ourselves a little more because if we take more out of our monthly budget, but she's guaranteed to have $1,200 at Christmas time. And that gives her the opportunity to send out gift cards and presents and that sort of thing. All of our children and grandchildren live at a distance, so we don't buy presents anymore. We use the gift card method. Everybody seems to like the gift cards, and we find out what they like and send them a gift card accordingly, whether it's to Amazon, Walmart, or somebody gave me $50 worth of gift cards to Starbucks for Christmas. I'm still using them. So we set aside $100 every month for Christmas. Now, many years ago, I was listening to a guy on the radio. His name was Clark Howard. And Clark Howard was the guy I learned this principle from. He said, save $10 per day. That doesn't sound like a lot. Save $10 per day. That's $300 a month. And this was many years ago, and I thought about that. I thought, wait a minute, I'm spending $10 a day at Starbucks. It hit me like a brick. I was spending my retirement. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. I stopped. And we began to save $10 a day. So not only do we have money for Christmas, but we have money for other expenses also that allows us to set money aside for travel, set money aside for home improvements, because that's $300 a month you can save right there if you'll simply adjust your habits. Now, even if you're on a very limited income, and I consider our income limited because our primary income is Social Security. But if your income is very small and very limited, if you will live on a budget and live within that budget and manage that budget, be careful what you spend your money on. I'll give you the classic example. I actually know some folks that are, I hate to say this, but they're constantly asking other people for money. I mean, they're constantly asking other people for money. And they constantly give the story about the cars broke down, the house broke down, and how broke they are. But I see them constantly in restaurants eating. That's what you do in a restaurant, right? You eat. If you're broke, don't go to a restaurant. You got to eat at home. The same thing is true with these fancy coffees. I love coffee. But if I can't afford to go out and buy a coffee, I have coffee at home. Now, occasionally I will treat myself to a fancy coffee at one of these places. But what I'm trying to say is you can save money out of your existing funds if you will just do a written budget and if you will just think about it.